very much. Thank you to the organisers. This is a fantastic turnout. 600 people, sold out event. I'm just really pleased to be here to give you about 10-12 minutes talking about where we are 6 months into our my presidency, and the team have been working very hard, and I want to just highlight some things for you of what it's been like. And the new presidency, of course, hasn't in some ways gone that well. It's sort of Secretary of State sort of pointed this out to me and seemed to suggest that it was perhaps my fault, and what was I going to do about that? But anyway, we are doing great things. And for those of you who follow the press blog, will see in greater detail. Please feel free to read that. That's going to be tweeted, I think, today, or has been, and it describes 10 of the things that we've managed to achieve in these first 10 months, first 6 months. So, when I was elected, I think in Bournemouth, I talked about these things, the 10 Ps of presidency, and how I was going to focus very heavily on the three things over these 3 years: policy and how we were going to make it right for our patients, make it right for ourselves and our systems, and some of the things I'm going to talk about today will clearly describe that more for you. The pact is between you, our members and fellows, and us, those who represent you at college. And we want to do the very best we can. I'm really honoured to be in the position I'm in, but we absolutely value feedback. And one of the things that we've been really focused on is wanting to make sure that the strategy that we employ going forward for the next 3 years is owned by you as much as possible, and the council have done great work in that. And we're all doing it for our patients. In the midst of everything else, of course, there are all these other Ps and predicaments and bear traps that I've fallen into and hammered out of, and it's always good to sort of constantly recalibrate. And my daughter, who's 9, has now regularly gives me feedback on how I'm doing compared to Mr. Trump. And so last week she said, "Daddy, I think you're doing okay, because he's in big trouble. Obamacare staying." I don't know quite how she's latched onto that, but anyway. Things haven't been so good in the last couple of months, and I think we've got our message out pretty clearly, both to the public, to the politicians, to health commissioners, and I think we've been given feedback that we are balanced, we're clear, and we're not shroud waving, but these are the things that we've asked for. And many people asked for more social care funding, and the government has responded positively on that. We are clear about the fact that there are not enough acute beds in our systems, and NHS England have sort of addressed that, or certainly recognised that. And we've been really clear about the fact that the increased demand on our systems has resulted in a need for a clear workforce solution, both in the short term and more medium term. And we've been very clear with both Secretary of State and others, and our colleagues in the other devolved nations, about how to make those solutions actually be delivered. This is the new sort of RChem strategy. This is probably its first airing, and there's still some tweaks with the graphics with some American pictures and things. But we identified that there are 10 major strands of work fitting across 3 themes. Those 3 key pillars are our systems, our support, and our staffing. And these are the things that we are driving hard for right now and over the next 6, 9, 12 months. And we're making good progress. So I want to highlight just a few bits for you in the time that I have. Staffing, we know that it's not just about having a consultant onto the shop floor, it's about making sure we have enough depth and breadth, that they work sustainably, and that we value training at the heart of it. What we do as emergency physicians is all of these things. We are incredibly talented. At the core of our job, we have the ability to deliver care for our patients, but around that we have a whole range of other activities, and finding the right portfolio will help towards making sure that our careers are sustainable and satisfying. We're doing work with Health Education England, and some of you will have seen the release of some of that stuff about less than full-time working. That is only really the beginning of a range of activities that we are working with Health Education England and NHS improvements on. And we hope that you like them. We want your feedback as to whether you think they could be improved. But that is just one example. You will know that in 2011 we worked really hard as a group and developed that sustainability strategy. At the time, we were probably the first college to produce a dedicated strategy looking at how we care for ourselves. Other colleges have come on board with that. What we really want to do is enact that, and we're working with NHS Improvement and NHS England, as well as the other devolved countries, to make sure that how we can find a way to carry components of that. And we're working with the Irish Association of Emergency Medicine as well, so that we can find ways for emergency physicians to lead satisfying, sustainable careers. We know that if we don't get it right, we will move from that resilience and well-being into the red zone, and that's not good for us, and it's not good for our patients. The staffing models, staffing is the major number 1, 2, and 3 item, and depending upon where you work, you will either have a pretty resilient model, you'll have plenty of consultants, you'll have a range of different junior workforce, and you'll have a really resilient system. Sadly, that is in the small minority of departments in the UK and Ireland. So we are describing much more clearly to policymakers and politicians what it is, what good looks like in a major trauma centre or equivalent, what good looks like in a mid-sized system. And we've put together a special interest group for remote and rural so that they can tell us as experts in remote and rural systems what good looks like. And then we can go back and negotiate that and move forward. And we hope, there's a big piece of work that we're doing at the moment around workforce, and we hope that we'll be able to share that with you over the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks. We also know that, so usually what happens when NHS England or NHS Improvement has something to say, they usually run it by me about a day or two beforehand and say, what do you think? And I go, I wouldn't do that. And on this occasion, they chose not to. And they stood up and said, we've got 100 million, we're going to spend it on GP triage. And obviously that got touted, and that was great, not. Anyway, so things have moved on from that, and today we're putting out a statement on how, if you are bidding in England, but I think it applies for other countries as well, you know, the integrated front door of ED, what it should be. Ian Higginson and others have done some great work on this. This is a college document, it will be in the communication that we're sending out today. And we think that that is good practice, that is best practice, okay? And the money, the 100 million, which sounds an awful lot, and it's a capital amount of money, so there's no recurrence into next year, it needs to be more tailored, more appropriately tailored, not just GP triage. So we're talking much more around clinical streaming and the need to apply the contents of this document into the needs of your department. So look out for that communication. The first deadline is the 10th of April. We've had some really good discussions with Keith Willett and Pauline Phillip, who are the sort of big players within this, and they're very positive to the discussion, the suggestions that we've made. So I'm just going to put a picture of a bed up, and I thought, no, so it's been pretty tough. It's been the toughest it's been for 15 years. Exit block is a major adverse influence on our lives and the lives of our patients. Some international scientific evidence clearly shows that more patients come to harm, more patients die, and they get it. Okay, now what we need to do is to make sure that they get it on a consistent basis and they respond to it, and that we create the right strands to make sure that we minimize exit block. We know it's an international problem, we know it's been around for years, but we have been through periods where we have managed to fix that. And so it's important that we do fix that, and there's college guidance on that, as well as a range of strategies that are being put out over the next sort of few months. I'm sure you've seen variants of this graph. This is from the OECD countries, and it shows that the United Kingdom sits somewhere near the bottom in terms of the number of beds per 1,000 patients. We're at something like 2.8, Ireland is 2.7 below us, and then Sweden has the fewest beds, but they don't get ill. so that's fine. So I haven't really got the time to talk to you about this, but this is what is going to be coming out in your inboxes over the next few weeks and months in much greater detail. It will describe clearly what our plans are, what we think will have the most impact for you, and most of all for our patients. We think it's the best that we can do. It's been through council and exec a number of times. You've seen the content of it. A number of you have kindly responded, but we will constantly recalibrate around that to make sure that it's the best possible. I can tell you the parallel discussions we've been having with the Department of Health, certainly in England, have been really productive, and I think we'll produce some more guidance that you will see in the coming weeks and months. Finally, I'm 1 minute late, my apologies. We are a great college, and sometimes when we're caught in the midst of angst and fighting the day-to-day battles, it can be tough. It is tough. But also we need to look up a bit and celebrate success. We are this year fortunate to be celebrating 50 years as a specialty. Okay. The first ever meeting occurred on the 12th of October 1967. Led by a guy called Morris Ellis, who was a consultant at the Leeds General Infirmary. And I'm really honoured to be working at the Leeds General Infirmary 50 years later. And we put a committee together, and in a minute, Diana Holbert is going to talk to you about some of the things that we've been bouncing around to celebrate 50 years. And we want to make it a big year. The other things we want to do in celebrating, we've launched the Arkham Foundation, which will look at research and teaching internationally, as well as in the UK, and we hope we will raise great funds. And we're going to launch the Arkham Annual Awards, and Robin Root has been leading that work. My time has run out. Thank you very much. I hope that I've given you a bit of a flavour. Please follow us on Twitter and all the other avenues, but it's a real pleasure to be your president, and I will fight hard for you. Thank you.